All right, I keep trying to start this video and I keep getting interrupted by phone calls, etc., or video chats. Oh my goodness. I just wanted to go over a few things. If you were in the other group and weren't able to meet in web design, here's some of the things we went over. First, not on the screen right now, but it was a review. We went over the site root folder and the importance of it, so I hope you know about that. And then secondly, the HTML sandwich, you see a little bit of that over here, doc type, head, all this stuff. And it's got to be in order. It's linear, top to bottom. That's how the computer reads it. It's got to be in that structure. All right. The next, probably most important thing that I want you to learn is to take these steps every time you work on a website. First, okay, it's kind of redundant, but I really want you to have a plan. I made for the most part, I made the plan for the worksite. Secondly, you have to have a site root folder, so I hope you've downloaded that, and of course it needs to be in a certain spot. Then third, once you open Dreamweaver, the first thing you need to do is identify the site root folder to Dreamweaver. You do that by going to Site, that's a drag-down menu, and you go to Manage Sites. Once you manage sites, if it's new, you can click on New Site and set it up. If it's already established, like all of these here, you can double-click on it, and you can learn all the details about where the site root folder is, the server settings, etc. But anyway, okay. Don't want to go into too many details. Then the next thing I would always work on is the index. That's your home page. And then you want to build and attach a CSS. Now, I've given you a little bit of a home page, an index, and it looks pretty lame, I admit. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a style sheet, add a little bit of CSS coding in there. It's a little early for this, but I don't know. It might be inspiring to move away from this drab black and white Times New Roman. And then once we build it, we're going to attach it, which will change our page, improve it. And then I'll show you how to make this page into another page. We're going to save it as something else and then change it, alter it, etc. Okay, so going back, how do we make a CSS sheet? You hit Command N or File New, you choose CSS, and you hit Create. CSS, it works in a similar format as tags do. We use curly brackets, and we don't write the words twice. For example, in HTML, we would write a tag like this, and then, here's the words that would be in the title, and then we would close it like this. So HTML has a beginning tag and an ending tag. In CSS, it works in a similar way, but not exactly the same. So first we established what we want to alter or add style to. In this case, body. That's everything that's in the HTML sandwich. That'll be the screen. And we write a curly bracket to the left. Dreamweaver gives you automatically one to the right. Dreamweaver is getting really excited and trying to throw all this CSS at me right now that I could possibly use. I'm not really interested in that. All I really want for body maybe is the background color. So I'll just type in background dash, and you have to have the dash, color. And you could easily go to the color picker, and you could choose RGBA or whatever, or hex, either one of those systems will work. RGBA gives you transparency settings. That's how it's a little bit better, a little more advanced. Because it's a background, I think I'll just go hex numbers. And I want a cold color. Yeah, something like this for the background. All right. When I'm happy with that, I hit enter. And then most importantly, I have to put a semicolon there, or I wouldn't be able to add any other attributes after that. Now I can create CSS for anything, including, and by the way, this was just an example of HTML, and you never put HTML inside CSS. So let me get rid of that. Here, I could stylize the H1 by writing some CSS for it. And most of those start with the word font, and I could say font size, and it's big, so I'm going to say 2 M's. We can go over all the details later about that. Color, strangely, relates to the color of the type, and I'm going to keep it dark. Okay. Again, I have to add the semicolon. Let's see, what else could I do that would be worth our time? We could do font weight, and 100 is the lightest, 400 is roughly in the middle, 900 is the heaviest, so I don't know why I'm going real heavy. Okay. Other things that were in the CSS were things like, or excuse me, the HTML. I already included some structural tags, such as the header. On all of the structural tags, for the most part, you'll always want to include float left, and you'll always want to include a width. And width should always be done in percentages. Okay, and then to see it, it'd be invisible until we added a background color. Very often I use these colors only temporarily. I'll just pick something as I build, and eventually I'll get rid of the background color and let the content be there against the background. All right, let's see. Main is another structural element that we have in there. I would like the width to be 100%, and I do need it to float. Notice none of these are capitalized in any way, and all. Oh, I'm going somewhere else. Okay, so and if you want to see it, we better put a background color in. And I'm just going to type in red just to keep going. Okay. Sometimes when you establish these things, there's no problem that you could copy it and then paste it. Of course, you wouldn't want to repeat yourself twice. It would just make the computer read it here and then reread it here. And if you did change it, like to black there, then this guy would win. So make a little mental note of that. In CSS, the last guy wins. So if you repeat yourself twice, then this one's going to win. In this case, what I really want to do is make a footer. So I'm going to copy header, put it down here, and change the word header to footer. All right, there I've got a few things established. Oh, I guess I better do article. I better spell it right or it won't work. Okay, so in this case, I'm just going to grab some things here. Copying that, pasting that. I do want it to float left. Do I want the width 100? No, I only want the width 30. And background color aqua. Yeah, that would be bizarre against the red, but oh well. There it is. The other thing we talked about briefly is margins. Margins push out from your boxes. You can have a general margin, which would apply to all 4 sides, or in this case, we're going to make it specific to the right side. And we could also do padding. In this case, I'm going to make it specific to the left. And, I'll also put it in for the right, too. And I'm going to put the same percentage. Okay, so I have just set up a little dilemma in math. I know that if I want article to be 3 columns across, 1, 2, 3, and they fit in the space that they fit in is main, and main is 100. If I have 30 and I add 2, I have 32, 33, 34. So now I have 34. 34 times 3, well, now I'm over 100, so they won't fit side by side. So I better drop this guy down to 29, and then I can still be 33. I could even do this, and I think that would make things fit rather nicely. All right, so I've got some CSS here. Obviously, it's not applied to HTML, so I can't see anything. So the first thing I need to do now is save it, and save it in the correct place. As you can imagine, what you need to do is save it inside your site root folder and go inside your CSS folder, and of course give it a name before it's saved as untitled 1 or 4 or whatever. I'm just going to call this the second because it's the second example I've made so far this term, and I'll save it there. And now, strangely enough, I'm going to close it. All right, the reason I closed it is because I want to attach it, and once it's attached, I can easily edit it through the home page that it's attached to. I'll show you how to do that. You go to Window, you go to CSS Designer, you search for your source by pressing on the plus symbol and going to Attach Existing CSS File, and I browse. If you've established your site, it should take you right to your site. I was working on another one right before this, so my apologies. But I should be able to click this. It might complain because I'm working on a different site right now. We'll find out. Okay, we got that. Okay, very good. And you see, as soon as I do that, it's been changed. So right now, what's highlighted is the source code. That's your HTML sandwich, and that's what you got going on. If you want to look at the CSS, you can just click it over here, and then it's a little hard to tell all this aqua from the red, so I'm going to change this color. And to do that, I just need to delete those things, hit colon again, and I can choose the color picker, and something that would fit in there might be this, I guess. Okay, so now I can see those a little bit easier, and I can see that they're fitting inside main, which is the red. Little intense for, I'm not winning any awards for beautiful color arrangement right now. But there you go, I got a header and a footer, and I've attached it. Okay, and now I can make these changes. As I make a change, I can go back and forth, and I could change the source code to, etc. All right. Now let's talk about turning this basic web page into your first summary page. To do that, the first thing I would do is save both the HTML and the CSS. If you have asterisks on either one of these, just ignore this middle one for now. If you have asterisks there, it indicates that it hasn't been saved, so you need to save both things because you're dealing with more than one file at this point. You're dealing with the HTML and the CSS. They're attached together, they work together, but they're still separate. All right, at that point, now that both of these are saved, I can do File, Save As, and I'm going to change, I'm over on the CSS side. I want to change the HTML, not the CSS, so I go File, Save As, and I'm going to turn the index into summary 1. Notice there's no spaces, no capitals. What's that? Oh, okay, I already did summary 1, so I'll make it summary 2. All right, so there we go. We save it. And then I would go into your text document, and I don't know if I have anything with text right now. Actually, plan for profile. Okay, let's just pretend this is my summary, and this is my first topic. So I'll copy this, and now what I need to do, right now this looks like the index page, even though it's not. So I'll change this. I'll write summary 2, and then I'll come over here and I'll change the word steps, and I'll make it into the first topic. So I'll just call it topic 1. And then, of course, I would write the topic there. I'm just going to use some of this other text for the moment. Then, let's see, I'd go back. Come on. Please. All right, and I grab all this text, which is supposedly my write-up for my summary. Now, going back to Dreamweaver. And it needs to be inside this first column, which is article. So I'll make a little room for it. I could tag it with a P for the paragraph, paste it in, and then every time I want to break, I can end the paragraph, and I can start a new one. And go. So it's going to be something like this. And I need 3 supporting sentences for my summary. I know I'm not really dealing with the summary at the moment, but I still think you get the idea. Okay, and then I will end my paragraph right there. So now I've made the HTML sandwich longer. I've got main, that's that red box. I've got article, that's this strange red-gray. And then H2 is my topic number 1. And then I go for my 3 sentences, and they're all in this paragraph tab. And I do the same thing for summaries, same thing for they would be topic 2, topic 3. I put all my supporting sentences in for each topic from my second summary reading. Then, when I'm done with that, I'd hit Command S, and now I've saved my next page, and I built it from the index page. And if these colors are a little glaring to you as they are to me, you know, we can easily go back to the CSS and say, okay, main, maybe red's not the smartest idea. Okay, let's pick something a little calmer. Okay, and now you just put that in. Your life gets a little bit better. Even this aqua is just a little out of control, I must admit. So, okay, something like that. Yeah, that's making it a little bit easier to look at, and maybe I'll apply that down here as well. Okay. Well, that's a little demo. I hope that helps. If you weren't able to be in class last time because of the important Martin Luther King holiday, I've made this video for you. Thank you.